Hi guys, so today we are going to start creating this chair. As you can clearly see, this is a very simple chair which is mostly made up of cubes and cylinders. You can see the backrest, the seat, the armrest, everything is just cubes and they have been scaled down to a proportionate size in order to create this structure. And the legs over here are nothing but cylinders which have been scaled down to form the shape of a chair. So this is what we are going to try, and we will try and give different colors to the different areas of the chair. And when I open Blender, this is the first cube. The default shape that appears on my screen is a cube, and this is exactly what I'm going to start with. So first of all, what I want to do is to create the backrest of the chair, which you can see it's tilted at a, you can see -10 or -20 degree kind of an angle. So we will try to attempt that. First of all, I want to make this thinner along the Z axis. I think, no, not the Z, actually it should be S, and X is what I'm going to press so that I get a thin backrest. And I think I need to do it a little more. I guess S and X is what I'm pressing right now, so just to make it a little thinner. I think a little more should be better. I think this much is okay for the backrest. Now, since this is standing vertically, I want to actually rotate this. So I'm going to rotate it along the x-axis. And here also, if you see this menu, you can actually rotate it at a -10, -20 angle, depending upon what sort of tilt you want. But for me, I think -12 is going to be a good tilt angle. So I've set it up as -12. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to duplicate this. So I've selected it and I'm going to press Shift D to duplicate it like that. Okay. And now I'm going to rotate this. Sorry, not here. I'm going to rotate it along the Y axis. So I've pressed R and Y. Okay. And I am going to grab it using the key called G. G key is for grabbing it. So I'm going to place it at the right position. If I still need to feel the need of rotating it, as you can clearly see, it is not properly aligned. So you can just press R and you can actually rotate this properly. Okay. Now I think for me the scaling is not really looking proper, because in the actual chair that I first created, the seat is a little thicker than this, right? So I'm going to actually press S and Z because I want to make it thicker. So S and Z is going to increase the height, or you can say the depth of this chair. And this is what you're going to get. If you don't like the alignment, of course, you can always press G and place it at the right position so that, this is properly aligned from both the sides and you don't see any deformity anywhere. Okay. If still rotation needs to be fixed or any other thing needs to be fixed, you can clearly see this is not very properly aligned. So I can even grab this and try and, place it at a angle which clearly, sort of fits the backrest, something like that. But I guess I will still have to do some work over here. You can do it yourself, I think. Okay. Now this is done. What I want to work on is the side armrests and these supports here below the armrest. So again, I am actually going to have cube here. So Shift A is for adding an object, and I'm going to get a cube out here. G is for grabbing it and putting it aside so that I can work on it. And of course, this is too big. I'm going to scale it down. Okay. And I am going to make it thinner along the Z axis. So S and Z is what will work for me. Okay. Something like that. S and X is going to make it a little longer, but I don't think I need that. What I need is to make it thinner on the Y axis. So S and Y is going to work to make this into a thinner armrest, something like that. Okay. You can of course scale it according to your own needs. And then G is for grabbing it and placing it at the right position. It's always good to see things from the top view. So if you press on the Z axis on the top right corner, you will be able to see things from the top view, and then you can grab it with the G and place the armrest at the position that you like. You'll have to actually do a lot of adjustments and see if it has the right if it is at the right position or not, to kind of fix this properly where you want. Okay. And this is done, and what I'm going to do here is, I think I still need to make it a little longer, so I'm going to press S and X to make it longer, and then grab it and place it at the right position, something like that. Okay, and I want to create a duplicate copy of this so that I can place it on the other side as well. So I'm going to just click on it, and then Shift D is what is going to duplicate it, and the other thing that I have to do is to just grab it with the G key and place it at the right place wherever I want to, and try and fit it exactly where the other armrest is, something like that. Okay, you can always see the height from different angles. It should just be exactly the way it is on the left side. I think I need to push it down a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, so this is how the armrests have been created. What the next is to create these, which is also nothing but cubes rotated in a sort of a direction. So I think I'm going to just click on this and press Shift D, keep it aside, right, grabbing it and keeping it aside, and then I'm going to actually rotate this, okay, to make it vertical, right. S and Z is going to decrease the height of it, something like that. Okay, I think it should be okay. Then I'm going to grab it and try and place it here. Okay, I think I need to rotate it a little more so that it's properly vertical, and you should also rotate it along the x-axis to make it straight. If it's still not good, you can press R and Y, to make it straight in a vertical way. Okay, I think still I need to do a lot of adjustments with it. R and C is going to make it straighter, but you can always do these adjustments later. I'm just going to keep the video very short, so I'm sure you have understood how to rotate it along each axis, and then G, and then place the things here on the sides. Okay, it's too long, not really properly rotated as well, but I'm sure you've got the point, and I'm sure you can do this yourself. I'm going to still try and make this better. Yeah, something like that. Grab it and place it here. Okay, and of course I want to make it thinner as well on the y-axis, so S and Y is what I pressed to make it thinner. Okay, and this is how it looks like, which is not right actually. I should have placed it below the armrest, touching the chair, something like that. Okay, and then you can actually do what? You can actually just duplicate this piece. Okay, so how would you do that? It's just you would press Shift, you select it, and then Shift D is what is going to duplicate it, and you need to place it at the right position. Look at it from different angles and try and place it at the right position. So you might have to do a lot of viewing it from different angles and trying to make sure that this is at the right position or not. Okay, something like that, but of course I think you will have to do some more adjustments to it. Okay, so yeah, looks okay, but of course this part which is coming outside, you need to still scale it. So I would suggest S and Z should be able to make it, no, not S and Z, it's going to be S and Y, yeah, to make it more thinner, I guess, something like that. Yeah, so that it fits properly. And you can do the same on the other side as well. Now for the the legs of the chair, as you can clearly see, this is nothing but a cylinder. So I'm going to add a cylindrical shape out here, okay, which is of course not really right. So I am going to make it much more thinner, and what you can do is S and X is going to make it thinner on the other side. Okay, and I think what you should do is use this menu, because this will be able to make it scale down proportionately. So let's say x-axis I want to make it 0.5, okay, and on the y-axis also I want to make it 0.5 so that it stays as a cylinder. Okay, again this is pretty thick. I think what I should do is 0.1 x-axis and 0.1 y-axis, which is a thinner piece of this one. Z-axis also I think 0.9 should work to make it a little shorter. And all that I have to do is to just grab it and place it at the right position. Always good to see from the from the bottom and from the top views to put the pieces on the right place. So now this is not really good. I'll grab it with a G and place it here. It's too much inside, so I'm going to grab it and place it at the right position, viewing it from different angles and making sure that this is right. The height still looks pretty big, so I'm going to still scale it and make it shorter, and then try and grab it and place it at the right position. Okay, somewhere here. If you still want to toggle with the shape of it, you can always do that, but I think this looks pretty okay. And what you're going to do here is now just still select this. Shift D is going to duplicate it, place it on the other side. Shift D, place it on the third side. Shift D and place it on the other side. And of course the heights and everything, positioning of it will have to be completely taken care of by you. And you can always, as I said, keep viewing it from the different angles, keep viewing it from the top view and the bottom view, and make sure that this is at the right position, and then that it makes sense. Okay, something of this sort. Right, now coming to your colors part of it, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select this. Okay, and I want a particular this kind of a bluish color. So on the web or the internet, I am going to select, I went to htmlcolorcodes.com website, which is a good website to pick up colors that you don't see in Blender. So if, let's say, if this is the color that I want, I am going to copy the hex value of this color, or you can copy the RGB, red, green, blue value also, or HSL, all of these, any of these you can copy. So I'm going to copy the hex value over here, go to Blender, and I'm going to click on the material properties from the right. And here in the color part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on hex. Okay, and here I'm going to paste the value which I had copied from the internet. Okay, so I got this color in here which I had picked from the internet, and what I'm going to do here is, just being this selected, the back part selected, I'm going to choose this material. So which means that I'm assigning this material to my backrest. If you want to see the changes, you can always click on this mode on top right, which is the material preview. So it will show you how the chair is going to look like. Okay, and then for the armrest, I'm going to choose another color from the HTML color codes. This time I want a more grayish kind of a color. Maybe this is good. So I'm going to copy this hex value from here, and I am going to click on this plus sign to add another material, because this is a new color, and I'm going to call it the armrest. Okay, and here instead of white, I am going to paste the hex value of the gray color, right, this one. And what I'm going to do here is just select this, and from this drop down I'm going to assign this. Okay, and same way I'm going to select this, and from the drop down I'm assigning armrest over here. Okay, and probably maybe if I want the same color for these cylinders, I can always select each one of them and assign it the armrest color. So whatever color you add from the right side menu, and whichever objects you want to apply it to, it is going to apply it to the particular chair. Okay, so one part of it is of course ready, and I haven't really placed these supports very nicely, and I haven't really copied it on the right side as well. So all of that can be, you can manage it. And even from the back side, I think this needs to be rotated a bit. So all of these kind of adjustments, I think you will be able to do it on your own now that you understood that rotation works on a particular axis. Okay, something like that. Okay, to make it look better, right? So you can do all of that and create a piece of furniture yourself.